brother Paul. And today we will be making an easy ube bread recipe for ube dinner rolls. So, for the dough, you're actually making two doughs, which are basically the same recipe, but we want to split them so you don't have to knead the ube extract in when you're making the dough. So you need 1.5 cups of flour per each dough, so 3 cups in total. A quarter cup of sugar divided into 2, which would be 2 tablespoons. Half a tablespoon of yeast for each dough. 2 pinches of salt. A quarter cup of butter, but it's divided into 2, so a tablespoon each of butter, because it's 2 tablespoons, and 1 cup of milk that we will be dividing, and 1 egg that you'll have to eyeball to divide. Oh, also a tablespoon of ube extract. Now, to make the dough, set all your wet ingredients to the side, which is egg, butter, milk, and ube extract. And in 2 different bowls, using a whisk, combine together the flour in each bowl. So Paul, can you pour the flour in that bowl? I will be making this one over here. And can you pour the yeast in? This is instant yeast. The yeast I added was instant yeast, so it basically means you don't have to activate it with warm water. But you still do need warm milk because the yeast will grow better. And now you add the sugar. Sugar? Yes. Okay, and you whisk it all together. Oh, I almost forgot the salt. You don't want to add the salt before you mix the yeast in. No, just a little bit. I'm going to add it to this time. Just a pinch of salt. And you don't want to add it in while the yeast isn't mixed in. Well, before the yeast is mixed in, because then it could kill the yeast. So you have to mix the yeast and then you add the salt. So now, once you're finally done with the dry ingredients, set it off to the side, and we're going to get our wet ingredients. Okay, so for our egg, we're actually going to use a scale and weigh it out to divide it in half. So, this is math. You're just going to put the egg on the scale, set the eggshell to the side. So 55 grams. And I just whisk it up so each bowl gets an equal amount of white and yolk. So now 54. So half of 54. So half of 50 will be 25. And then 27. So 27, just 2 grams. 26. 27, okay. And now this bowl will have the rest of the egg. So now you don't need the scale or the bowl or the fork or the eggshell. So you can put that to the side, which I'm just going to put right here. And next you're going to take half a cup of milk, which I forgot to get a half a cup. So once you got the measuring cup, you're going to pour in half of it. Half a cup. That's a little under, but I don't want it to spill. So I'm just going to guess it's about that much more. And now for the other bowl, you just pour in the rest. And our butter is easy because it's already measured out.
Then we add this.
Not yet. Well, actually, yes, we do. And only, no, only a little bit. Give it to me.
Okay, me too.
No.
Enough.
No, only in one.
So now we have our special guest, Pawpaw, back. And we're going to combine the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients. So to do that, you want to create a little like hole in the middle of the flour to pour your wet ingredients into. Like
just do
this.
The deeper one.
And now you're going to take the wet ingredients, Pawpaw, and you get to dump it in the hole. Ready? Woo! All of it. Okay. And set the bowls to the side. And you get to push it around.
What me doing?
You basically just want to incorporate the water and, well, the milk, the wet mixture, and the flour together. And you want to continue to mix it until you barely see any dry dough. Well, dry flour.
Oh!
Okay, so, ta-da! Our doughs are finished, and we have and we have a big cutting board, which we're going to knead the dough on. So just flip the dough on the cutting board. Oh,
This out
there. And now by the way, we also floured the cutting board, so you just need to knead it until it's like soft.
You did flour.
Yes. Okay, that's good. No.
Some of the back side.
We'll just smooth it out like that. Okay, now your dough might get a little tough, which then you just need to add a little bit more water. So basically, take the plastic, cover the bowl. It's that simple. And then just leave it in a warm spot so it will rise a little bit. If you're since we're using instant yeast, it should rise a little bit faster than active dry yeast. And leave it in a warm area for an hour. And it should, or until it's like doubled in size. Well, not doubled, but like puffed up. You can tell it. So, it's the next day because it was too late to film, and we just let our dough rise overnight, and we put it in the fridge. We punched our dough down so it's like all the air bubbles get out so they're only even. And now place it on a floured surface, and you won't be needing your bowls again. So set it to the side. And what you want to do is you want to like kind of roll it in like a log. And cut it into 18 equal pieces.
We're done. Cut.
So I'm gonna cut it in half like this, and then you just need to cut each piece.
Ta-da! Ta-da!
You're gonna use this dough cutter, Paul. And then cut it into 9 pieces. And then once you cut, see, I cut my dough into like 9 about equal-ish pieces. Some are a little smaller and some are a little bigger. But what you want to do, take one piece of the dough, set all the other pieces aside, a log.
Be careful this time.
A thin log.
Be careful.
Oh, don't put it here. Where did it? Oh.
Cut. And boom.
Okay, and in half. Rolling it into like a log like this.
Good job.
And you just want to do that to all of your dough. Make a snake.
A cat.
So you want to
This
cut
is
it.
the baby one.
You don't need like too much more flour to roll it out. So once you roll them all out into the logs, you're going to take one regular one and one ube one, and you're going to kind of braid them together like this. Braid, 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 braid. And once you do that, you're going to cross them over and squish it down.
This one needs
Like
more.
this. It's kind of like a donut shape because they look prettier.
Me make another pumpkin.
You want to make sure that your ube one and your regular one are about the same length and have like the same amount of dough about, because if they don't, then it could be like really weird looking.
Go.
And you know, it's cool after they bake, because after they bake, then it like, they're technically different doughs, so you can pull them apart. Squish it down, and you fold this one over.
This one over.
And then you fold this over, and then you swirl them together.
Put them together.
So once you've finished with all of your buns, you're going to place them on a parchment cookie sheet and let them rise for like 25 to 30 minutes, or until slightly puffed. After you let them rise, bake them at 350 for like 10 to 15 minutes. And then, well, before that, after finished proofing, wash some egg wash on top and bake them in a 350 Fahrenheit oven for about 10 to 15 minutes.
Bye.
After letting the dough rise for about an hour, it should be puffed. You can do 30 minutes. We just let it rise for an hour. And then we could just take some egg wash. This is just egg and a little bit of water, and just brush it on the top of the buns. Now, bake in a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes. See you once they're done. Here's the finished product. I put a little bit of powdered sugar on top, but this is what they look like after baking. And they've cooled a little bit so we don't burn our mouth. And we will try these. Papa, do you want to taste them? Okay. You have to eat it. Mmm. Very good.
Is it good, Paul?
Hmm? Hey, Mom. Where turkey?
The top, because of the egg wash, it's a little crunchy. I kind of like that, but I don't know.
Like the main.
And then the inside's super soft.
Kind of too big for me.